the legend, ECW hardcore legend Sabu passed away, age 60, this on Sunday. Obviously we all know who Sabu is. I've seen a couple of his matches. I wasn't a huge ECW guy, growing up. I watched a couple matches here and there. Sabu obviously a couple appearances in WWE. Um, Good worker obviously when he was there, but not there's not really much for me to like unpack with Sabu. Were you a Sabu fan?
See, I wasn't that big on ECW either, but put it this way, there were names that you knew about, even if you didn't watch ECW much back then.
Hmm.
You know, he was one. Rob Van Dam, Taz, Tommy Dreamer, the Dudleys, right? New Jack, like there were guys where even if you never watched 1 minute of ECW, there were guys that you had heard that you'd heard their name mentioned. And yeah, I've watched a little bit of ECW. I wasn't a big ECW guy, but yeah, I mean, he was one of the pioneers of that style, and he and Rob Van Dam were, ECW tag team champions for a good bit, and yeah, I mean, just that kind of just extreme daredevil kind of style. He was one of the pioneers of it, and he's one of the better people to do it, and so I don't know if he's already in. I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame or not yet, but he definitely deserves to be there. He was, and also I believe I forgot what relation he was, but I think it might have been his uncle was the original Sheik. I think
Right.
was one of
Yeah,
the
I think it
biggest.
was. I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was one of the biggest heels back in like what the '60s, I think.
Yeah.
So definitely look gone too soon. He's only 60 years old. Um, but
He wrestled 2 weeks ago at WrestleMania weekend.
yeah, and there's some controversy around that.
Yeah. Did he what was I gonna say? Sabu, did he has it been revealed how he died?
I haven't seen it. Like what?
I haven't seen anything. Nothing.
Yeah, I haven't
Nothing.
seen
No.
any
No
reports of.
accident. No foul play. Nothing. That
Yeah,
sort.
I haven't seen any reports about cause of death. It's just and not to go into it here, but there's just yeah, I mean there's some controversy about his appearance at that show a few weeks ago. But
Yeah. I saw George Janela put out some stuff that he was supposedly on Kratom. Which by
yeah,
the way,
and
I learned about Kratom only recently. You want to know who told me about Kratom? It was our cousin Duke.
also I hadn't heard of it until now until this story. But Duke is the plug for
No, he's talking about Kratom because he told me about Kratom in regards to Tony Khan, like that last year.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't know what Kratom meant. He said go Google Kratom and look what it means, and I understood that. I was like, okay. So the only time I ever heard about Kratom was when Duke had mentioned it to me mentioned it on the podcast. Actually, we had did back in September last year. Um, Talking about Tony Khan.
Oh yeah, but
So
all that aside, he's definitely somebody to remember. He was an innovator and a pioneer, and look, ECW changed the wrestling business,
they sure did.
and he was a big part of that.